Okay. So this is going to be, I just wanted to say too that this is going to be our last class of March. Okay, so we're going to be meeting again in April 10th. Mary, come right on down front. I've been waiting for her. Come on down front, Mary. I got your blocks for you. So there's no yoga class the next 2 weeks, right? So there are no yoga classes for the next 2 weeks. Okay? So if everybody can, do you all know that the classes are online? Is everybody aware that the classes are online? Okay, so Debbie always puts it in the weekly newsletter. I'm going to wait till everybody settles down. Okay, so Debbie always puts it in the weekly newsletter with a link to the Walpole Community Cable Station. And if you go to Walpole Community Cable, all these classes, or most of these classes, are online. They record them. So there's 6 years worth. So I think you'll be okay for a couple of weeks. Just saying. Even with the what? Even with the knee brace. Oh yes, that was yes. Yes, okay, that was a while ago. Okay, 6 years, yes, so that's a lot of classes. All right, so that takes care of all of our housekeeping stuff. Okay, so let's start with a little breathing this morning, shall we? If you want to come right up to the front of your chair and have your feet on the floor, underneath your knees, sitting up nice and tall, relax your neck and your jaw. You can wiggle around a little bit if that helps you get settled. And then if it's comfortable to close your eyes, go ahead and do that. And we're just going to start by noticing. So you're just noticing your breath, noticing the way air is moving in and out. Is your breathing fast or slow this morning? Does it feel shallow or deep? Are you able to breathe in and out through both nostrils, or are you a little blocked on one side maybe? Maybe you need to use your mouth a little bit as an auxiliary if you can't feel like you can't get enough breath in or enough breath out. And then noticing what the air feels like as it moves in through the back of your throat. So the best way to increase that awareness is to place your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And that just kind of seals things off a little bit so that the back of your throat feels a little more open and receptive to the breath as it moves in and out through your nose. And then shift your awareness down into your body. So as you breathe in and out, do you feel your chest and your rib cage and your belly expand and contract? And again, this is just your natural breath. We're just doing the inquiry right now. We're just noticing, observing, just saying, that's interesting over there, or I don't feel this here. And what's the overall experience of this natural breath? So is it easy, or does it feel like it's a little bit of a struggle? Is it hard to sit still and just breathe? And now let's intentionally deepen the breath. So take longer, slower breaths in and out. And as the breaths get longer and slower, notice if you feel air moving down deeper into your body. So maybe before, with your natural breath, you didn't feel the rib cage or the belly expanding and contracting. And maybe now you can feel that. So again, we're just lengthening the time that it takes to breathe in and out. We're increasing the awareness in the rib cage and the belly. And then let's take a nice deep breath in. We're going to hold it and let it out with a sigh. We'll do that 2 more times. So take a nice deep breath in and exhale. And 1 more breath in and out. Great. And then go back to your natural breath. You can let your eyes gently open. Excellent. And then we'll start with a very gentle movement for the head. So just a very slight nod. Like you're saying yes, but it's a very slight nod. It's like you're at an auction and you don't want anybody to see, right? So you give that very slight little head nod. And then the same with a no, just a really slight movement from side to side, like a no. Very slight. And then we'll go back to yes. And make it a little bit bigger, but slow. So lifting the chin and lowering the chin a little bit bigger, a little bit higher, a little bit lower. And then back to the no and make it just a little bit bigger. So not your biggest no, but it's a pretty good size no. All right, and then come back to center. And now we're going to take the right ear to the right shoulder. And then slowly bring the left ear to the left shoulder. And we're going to go back and forth like this a few times. So just bringing one ear to one shoulder, one ear to the other shoulder. And as you do, notice what you feel in your neck and the upper back. Good. And the next time that you have your right ear on your right shoulder, we're going to hold here. So we're just holding that ear on the shoulder. Let your left arm come off your lap and just kind of let it hang down. So breathing in and breathing out, keeping that ear on the shoulder. Now we're going to do that yes movement. So lifting and lowering the chin, right? So as you're doing this with the ear on the shoulder, you're noticing a stretch in that side of the neck. Right? Nice stretch in that side of the neck. And then stop with the yes movement, and we're going to switch to a no movement. So the ear stays on the shoulder, and we're turning the nose down and up. And again, it doesn't have to be your biggest no. It's just enough that you can feel that stretch shift into a different location on that left side. So just that shifting movement here. Couple more, down and up. Great. Excellent. And then bring your head back to center. Great. Can bring that hand back to your lap. Now take your left ear to your left shoulder. And we're just going to hang here for a couple of breaths. Let your right arm come off your lap. Let it hang down. And again, we're just kind of holding here. Breathe in, breathe out. So when we hold stretches like this for a long time, the breath is what really helps us to relax into it. So if you take a deep breath in and let it out, it's on the exhale, you can feel your neck relax a little bit more. So let's do a yes movement here. So slight lift and lower of the chin, and breathing in and breathing out as you're doing it. And then a no movement. So a bit of a no. So your ear is as close to your left shoulder as it'll go. And you're doing this no movement. And it's nice and slow, so you don't want to make yourself feel dizzy or a little unbalanced here. So just nice and slow. And then come back to center. Excellent. Bring your hand to your lap. Take a moment here. Just breathe in, breathe out. We're going to try this one more time. So take your right ear to your right shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. Letting the neck relax a little bit. And now we're going to turn the nose down. And imagine you could kiss your shoulder. Can you get your lips close to your shoulder without lifting your shoulder toward your lips? Breathe in, breathe out. And bring your head back up. Excellent. We'll go to the other side. So left ear to left shoulder. And then turn your face as if you could get your lips right down onto your shoulder. Could give that shoulder a little kiss. But don't lift your shoulder. Good. And then lift and come all the way back up. Excellent. Let's do a nice big yes. So way down with the chin and way up. Now when you lift your chin up, I want you to lift your whole spine. So it's not just the front of your neck, it's your whole spine. And when you bring your chin down, bring your chin right into the notch of your collarbones. So we're breathing in and breathing out. Nice job, everybody. Couple more of these. So you can go nice and slow. I just want you to go to like your end of range, whatever that is. And everybody's is going to be a little bit different. And last time, down and up or up and down, wherever you are. Coming back to that center. Let's turn to the right as far as you can with your head. And then turn to the left as far as you can with your head. So just back and forth a few times. So now we're just testing that range a little bit more. Great. One more time, left and right, or right and left. And then come back to center. Great. Let's roll the shoulders up and around. Making some nice big shoulder movements here. Let's get those elbows involved. Snap, crackle, pop up here. How is it out there? Is it noisy down there? Out there? Yeah? All right. I'm in good company. And then let's switch directions. So we'll go the other way. Oh. Great. Couple more. Up and around. Excellent. All right. Let's take both arms way up and around. And way up and around. Oh, yeah, sorry. You're going to need to find some space because we're going to do some arm work here. So if every other person could take like an inch or two forward in their chair, that might get you so that your arms don't hit. Next time your arms are down by your sides, we're going to switch directions, so go up the other way. Okay? So again, just making these movements, whatever they are. If you can't get your arms up like that, do it like this. That's absolutely fine. It's whatever you can manage, right? Whatever you can manage. Okay, let's bring the arms all the way back down. Great. Now we're going to take the arms and we're going to twist the arms from the shoulders so the palms are up. And then we're going to bring the arms behind, stretch the arms, press the chest forward. And then we're going to come forward and round. So it's like you've got a big circle around you and you're trying to use your fingers to trace that circle. So when you come forward, your palms are facing you. When you come back, your palms are away from you. Okay? So we're just doing this movement. You don't have to do anything special with your head or your neck. Whatever feels like the best thing to do for that. But see if you can round through your upper back when you come forward, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together when you come back. And one more time forward, and then we're going to hold on the back. So we're holding out here. Press the chest forward, look over your right shoulder a little bit, extend your palms, look over your left shoulder a little bit, extend your palms. So stretch those fingers. You're making starfish hands, right? So starfish hands look to the right, starfish hands look to the left. One more time. Great. And then release that. Oh, let's let the arms hang down, do a little wiggle here. Kind of stretch things out a little bit. Let's take the palms together now. We're going to press through the palms of the hands and round through the upper back and push through that left side and then push through the right side. Oh, so we're trying to get a little bit more in one direction and then the other. Oh, great. One more time on each side, however that feels for you. And then release that. Let's give those shoulders a little bit of a wiggle around. All right, let's take the arms out to the sides with your palms facing forward. Now we're going to take the right hand and we're going to turn the palms down and back behind. In the left hand, you're going to turn the palm up. So you've got the palms facing up toward the ceiling, but on the right side, your thumb is toward the back of the room, and on the left side, your thumb is toward the front of the room. Did I say that right? I said it. No, the both thumbs are facing the back of the room. Sorry. But your thumb is going, I don't know what I'm saying. I have no idea what I'm saying. The right arm is rotating forward. Ha, that's better. The left arm is rotating backwards. Has nothing to do with your thumbs. So forget I said that. Okay, so now we're just going to twist the other way and twist the other way. And as you're twisting, it's like you're a towel from your fingertips to your fingertips, and you're trying to wring that towel out, right? So if you can't get your arms up, I want you to do it down here, right? So we're still getting that same rotation in the shoulders. You don't even have to move your shoulders. You can do it like this. So do whatever you can. That's the most important part of things here, right? So breathe. Make sure you're breathing. Great. One more time. On each side. Yeah. And then release all of that. Give that a nice little wiggle. All right. Let's bend the elbows. So we're just kind of loosen things up a little bit. Just bend and tap, bend and tap. Great. When you get your arms halfway between tapping your shoulder and all the way down, you're going to hold here so your palms are up, and we're just going to turn the palms down and up, down and up. So we're getting a little rotation at the elbow joint, right? We don't often think about the elbow having rotation, but it does. And it's because of the movement of the two bones in the lower arm that create that rotation at the elbow. Doesn't have to be anything too great here. Got it? So nice breaths in and out. Okay. One more time, down and up. And then wiggle or shake that out a little bit. Okay. Let's try something here. We're going to bring the arms in front with the palms together, lower than your shoulders. So don't have your shoulders way up here. We want to relax the shoulders a bit. We're just going to take the right arm and go out to 3 o'clock. Okay? And then back to 12. So this is your 12 o'clock position. And then left arm goes out to 9 o'clock, just 9, and back. So right arm to 3, and left arm to 9. Good, right? So keep going. Maybe you go to 4 instead of 3. Maybe you go to 8 instead of 9. So just go back as far as feels comfortable, but don't lose that 12 o'clock position. In other words, I can go farther this way, but I gotta come off at 12 o'clock in order to do that. Everybody got that? Okay, so we're just switching between 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, yeah? Easy. Okay, shake that all out a little bit. All right, we're going to do the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock thing again, but we're going to do it a more fun way, because this isn't so fun. Let's make it more fun, okay? So take your hands at 12 o'clock, and instead of going right to 3 o'clock, I'm going to have you go up toward the sun and over to 3. And up toward the sun and back to 12. Left side, up to the sun and over to 9. Up to the sun and back to 12. So we're just going to keep doing that. So right side, sun to 3, sun to 12. Sun to noon. Nope, sun to, what am I saying? Sun to 9. I said noon, I meant 9. Yeah. Up and back. So we're just doing right side, left side, right? We're going to 9 o'clock on the left, and we're going to 3 o'clock on the right, and we're doing it in the funnest way that we can, right? And if you can't get your arms up overhead, you're doing it this way, right? You're still doing it that way, or you're doing it this way, right? Ready? Next time we're at 12 with both hands, we're going to stay there. Okay, let's shake it out, because we're holding our shoulders up a whole lot. Okay, let's make this more fun. So we're going to have the hands together. So now we're going to take the right arm, go up to 3. And as we're coming up and going back to 12, we're going to take the left arm up and go to 9. Right? So we come up to the sun, left to 12, and right to 3. Up to the sun, left to 9, and right to 12. Right? Yeah. No coordination, right? If I'd say nothing, it's probably easier for you to do, right? This whole 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock thing is just, I'm trying to confuse you. I'm doing a good job. Thank you. Job well done. Job well done. Okay, one more time. We're going to stop at 12, right? Let's shake that all out. Okay. So part of that is to kind of get us to think in a little bit different way, right? So I don't have to always go to 3 o'clock this way or always go to 9 o'clock that way. Okay, let's try this. Let's try the palms together. So instead of going up overhead, we're going to go down to the side and out to 3. And back, down to 9, and back, right? So it's like a little swing down and a little swing back. Swing down, swing back. Got that? Excellent. We're having fun. Uh-oh. Okay. Next time we're at 12. We're going to stay at 12. Everybody got 12? Okay. So on your right side, you're going to go down to 3. You're going to come back, and as you come back, you're going to go up to 9. I know. We'll do this again. So when you come up to 9, you're going to go down to 3. Okay, back to 12, we go up to 9. All right? You got it, right? So don't rush. I'm going to slow mine down, right? So I'm going up from 9, and I'm going down to 3. Just down, not up, right? Okay. Is anybody breathing besides me? No? Okay, so let's get to 12. Let's release and take a breath. So we'll make this fun just one more time, okay? And then I promise we'll move on because your shoulders are wide awake now. So they're screaming. Okay, thank you for that. So let's have the hands together. Let's try going down to 9. Okay? And then when we come back from 9, we're going to go up to 3. Got it? So we're going to go up and down to 9. Right? Got it. So it's just a little different way of doing things. We're doing the up and we're doing the down. And if you've got it confused like I just did, that's fine, right? So we're going down to 9 and up to 3. Yeah, you just recover, right? It's like, oh, okay. Gosh, this is fun. And when we get back to 12, let's stay there. And let's let go of all of that. Whew, shake that all out. Let's roll those shoulders a couple of times, because doing all that can be a little bit tiresome. Let's go way up and around, way up and around. Oh, okay. And bring your hands back to your legs. All right, so we got the upper body kind of warmed up. We warmed up the chest. We got the chest expanded. We got the upper back expanded. We're going to move down to the hip area. So if you want to hold on to your chair, slide to the front. And we're just going to lower the knees from side to side. And as you do, you're just kind of sliding your bum on the chair, right? So we're just sliding, sliding. And we're just going, let's slow it down. Let's really slow this down. So now as I bring my knees to the right, I'm going to push my left knee down a little bit more, and then I'm going to turn and look out over my left shoulder. And you're breathing, and then you're going to come up and through center, and we're going to go over to that left side with the knees and turn and look out over your right shoulder. And breathe. And come back to center, knees go to the right, head goes to the left, and come back. Good. So this is it. Nice and slow. We're getting like a whole body twist here as we go from side to side, right? So you can just kind of go to one side, take a beat, take a breath, and then go to the other side. And again, however far you twist, right? So don't feel like, oh, well, I can't twist that far, so I'm not going to do it at all. Twist as much as you can. Because the more we push the boundaries, the farther we might be able to get. Good. And then come back to center. Great. Let's bring the feet a little wider than the hips. And we're going to go in with the knees and out with the knees. In and out. And again, hold on to your chair, especially if your pants are slippery. I don't know that it's slippery pants. I think it's a slippery chair, right? That's what I think. Both? Okay. Okay, and then let's bring the knees together. I'm going to slide back a little bit so I don't fall off my chair. So bring your feet and your knees together. Have your hands on your knees. And we're just going to go from side to side with the knees. Right? So you can roll up onto the inside and outside edge of your feet if you want. So we're not testing the ankles. We're actually testing the knees and the hips a little bit. So when you get to one side, just give a little pause. Get to the other side, do a little pause, right? Okay, we're going to add one more little thing here. So the next time you're over to the right with your knees, I want you to shift your rib cage over to the left. Okay? And then come back to center, knees to the left, shift your rib cage to the right. Good. So we're shifting the knees in one direction and the rib cage in the other direction. So it's like we're doing this little thing here in the middle of the body. One more time each way. Great. Okay. Come back to center. Great. Let's take the knees now. We're going to check out the knees, see what's happening there. So we know our knees bend and extend, right? So extend your right leg and bend it. Extend and bend. And listen for the music, because it's coming. Knees are noisy. Knees can be very noisy. So we're bending and extending and noticing. So when you extend, can you give a little squeeze to the muscles here in the upper thigh? And when you bend, can you give a little squeeze to the muscles here in the back of the thigh? Okay. And then let's bring that foot back down to the floor. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Great. So just kind of noticing I hear a little noise out there. That's all good. Ooh. Hello. Good. How about just two more little sweeps here with the knee? Okay. And then let's bring the feet to the floor. So we'll get down to the ankles. And since we didn't do much below the elbow on the upper body, we're going to pair the ankle and the wrist on this side. So right side, let's just take the ankle and the wrist and start with a little clockwise direction, right? So you're looking at your wrist, you're looking at your ankle. The wrist has a little more range of movement. It's less about stability, right? You need a little more stability in the ankle because you are transferring all of your body weight onto the ankle at one point in your gait cycle. And then switch direction. So counterclockwise. Everybody doing okay? I'll take that as a yes. Okay, good. Okay, so now let's do something a little bit fun. So we're going to take the right wrist. We're going to circle it clockwise. And then see if you can take your right ankle and circle it counterclockwise. Got to really think about it. Got to really think about it. This is a this is a hard thing to do, right? It's a very hard thing to do. Was anybody able to do that? Not yet? Okay, we're going to be working on that. So you guys got 2 weeks, right? You got 2 weeks. I'll come back. You're going to be like, I got this. Okay, let's try the other side. Maybe the other side is smarter. So let's take the wrist and the ankle on the left side. Clockwise. I'm going clockwise. You can go counterclockwise. It's really up to you. All right. I like all the wrist and ankle noise too. Wrist and ankle noise is very snappy. Wrists and ankles are snappy. Shoulders are clunky. Hips are clunky. What are knees? Yikes. Sore. All right, let's reverse direction. Breathe. Did I say that? Yeah, gotta breathe. Gotta breathe. Okay. Couple more. Okay, we got that, right? Okay, so now for the test. Let's see how smart the left side is versus the right side. So we're going to take the left wrist clockwise. Get it going clockwise. Breathe. So I find it's easier for me to not look at my foot and my hand when I'm doing this. So as you circle clockwise with the hand, start to circle counterclockwise with the foot. And breathe. I can't even look at you guys and do this. This is hard. All right. Whew. Couple more times. All right. Shake that out. Anybody have luck with that? No? Okay, we're going to work on that. We'll work on that. So, you know, I like to do things that challenge our brains, right? And this circling one way with the wrist and the other way with the ankle is so unnatural. There's the pathways in our brain are so entrenched in circling the same way that it takes a lot of effort to overcome that, right? Because really what we're doing when we're moving our bodies is we're changing the conversation between our brain and our body. That's really what we're doing at the very basic level. Okay, so in 2 weeks you'll be proficient enough at that we'll be able to do both wrists and ankles at the same time, right? Yes, so work on that, work on that. Okay, scoot on over to the right side of your chair, and we're going to take the right leg and extend it out. You're going to come up onto your heel and have your toes reaching toward your shin. So your leg muscles in the front of your thigh are working nice and hard. Now, I'm going to just reposition myself. You may find on your chair you have to do that as well. The hard edge of the chair, if it's cutting you off in the back of your leg, just kind of position yourself so that it's more comfortable. So again, the heel is on the floor, toes are reaching toward your shin. That means the muscles here in the leg are doing an awful lot of work, yeah? Okay, so we've got that heel anchored to the floor, and all we're going to do is turn the upper body to the left, okay? So it doesn't have to be like the biggest twist you've ever done. It's just a twist that's enough. Maybe you feel more of a stretch through the inner thigh on the right, or you feel it, you maybe feel it in the waist, but I'm really concentrating on what's happening in the leg. Maybe it's down farther into the leg. Could be the knee, the ankle, the shin, the calf. Anywhere there is fine. Good. How about one more nice deep breath in? And as you exhale, you're going to untwist your body, but keep that leg extended, right? So the leg is still working here. Now, I want you to get your foot flat on the floor, but bend your knee only as much as you need to get the foot on the floor. So I'll say that again. You're going to put your foot flat on the floor, but don't bend your knee completely. You want to bend your knee only as much as you absolutely need to get the foot on the floor. For each of us, it's going to be different. Some folks are going to have very little to no bend in the knee. Some folks are going to have a bigger bend in the knee in order to do that. Has everybody got their foot on the floor? Okay, so with the sole of your foot on the floor, keep your tripod down and lift all your toes, and then place all your toes down. So now it's like, imagine you're gluing your foot. Your foot is in a starfish position, and you're gluing that starfish right to the floor. Everybody got that? Can you feel what's happening in your thigh? And your calf? Yes, right? Everything is fired up to keep that foot on the floor. Keep that fire in the leg, right? Keep that fire in all of those muscles, and turn your body to the left. Now with each breath in, lengthen your spine. With each breath out, see if you can push your foot into the floor a little bit more and twist a little bit farther, right? Now if your foot starts to come up off the floor, I want you to either unwind or give your knee a little bit of a bend. I don't want you to lose. All those toes should be pressing into the floor now, right? So breathe in, breathe out. Try not to go, if you're thinking, oh, I have to nail this and get 100%. Try to be a C student with this. It's okay. We're going to all get there. Keep breathing. One more. Can you do one more? That was rhetorical, obviously. And then turn back. Whew. Bend that knee, heel and toe. Let's walk back, slide your bum to the center of your chair. Let's take that right leg, cross it on top of your left. Now, if you cannot get your right ankle on top of your left knee, you're just going to straighten your left leg a little bit and cross that ankle wherever it'll go on that left leg, right? So my right ankle might be way down here near my left ankle. My right ankle, there's another nice little place actually. If you have your knee bent, there's a little spot below your kneecap. It's got a little indent in it, and that's a nice little place for your ankle to hang out, if that's a good place for you. Okay, so I'm going to go back up here. So we're sitting up nice and tall. We're breathing in and lengthening through the spine, and then as we breathe out, we're going to come forward with a nice straight spine, and then come back. So we're just going to kind of move in and out of this a little bit. Now, I didn't give a modification for if this is too comfortable. Is anybody too comfortable with their ankle crossed on top of? No. Okay. I am a dreamer. Yeah. I can't help it. If anybody's too comfortable here, you can always slide your foot up closer to your hip, right? So it doesn't have to be right at the knee. It can come up even a half inch closer to your hip, right? So we're just coming forward and coming back up. So you can put your right ankle anywhere on your leg from your left ankle to your left hip. How's that? Okay, next time you're forward, you're going to hold here and breathe. And get longer in your spine. Okay? Longer in your spine. Great. So if it's possible, can you take your right hand and place it on your right hip and turn to the right a little bit? And then come back. Take that right hand to your right leg somewhere. Take your left hand, place it on your left hip, and see if you can turn to the left a little bit. So we're still bending forward, right? You're leaning forward. You haven't sat up. And then come back. Great. Come all the way up. We're going to take this right knee, cross it over the left knee. Okay. So can everybody do that? Can everybody cross their knee over their knee? If you can't, you can cross at your ankle, but we're going to try and cross the knee over the knee. So take your left foot and walk it over to the left. Okay? You might have to make sure you're squarely on your chair so you don't fall off. Okay, so we got the left foot over toward the left. So there's a number of options here. Option 1 is to squeeze your inner thighs together. Right? So you feel that engagement? Okay, if that's easy, what I want you to do is, along with option 1, I want you to take your right ankle and press it toward the outside of your left lower leg. So maybe you can get your ankle touching the leg. If you're crossed here at the ankle, that's okay. You're going to stay right there and keep squeezing the thighs together, okay? All right, so for those of you who can do that, here's option 3. Take your right foot and bring your toes behind your left ankle. That's option 3. Anybody want option 4? Option 4 is take that right foot and wrap it around your left leg. That's option 4. So there's 4, 3, 2, 1. Can do any 2. I love it. Yeah, stay with 2. That's great. Okay, so wherever you're at, you're just going to stay here and breathe, right? Wherever you're at. Now, whatever option you're in, if you're not ready for the next level, we can increase it a little bit. So say I'm here at level 3, I've got my toes, my last 2 toes are touching the back of my ankle. I can take that left foot and walk it over to the right a little bit. Whew. That increases you in that level, right? You want to go slow. You want to go nice and slow. Take another couple of breaths. If you're having a hard time breathing, you've gone too far. So you're just going to back off a little bit. Let's take one more breath. One more. Okay, so let's unwrap, unwind, unsqueeze, whatever that leg, and we're just going to walk that left foot back. And now, very slowly, you're going to unwrap that leg, lean back, extend both legs, point your toes, and is your right leg longer than your left leg? Look down at your toes. Yes. All right. Does anybody have a left leg longer than the right? You do. I don't know why. I was just asking. So the right leg should be longer than the left at that point. That'll be interesting to work with. All right, let's see if we can reset everything. Let's go over to the left. So slide your bum to the left, walk your left foot out. So we got kind of 90 degrees, right? So your body's facing forward still, your legs out to the side. Extend your left leg heel on the floor, toes reach up toward the shin. And when you do that, again, reposition if you need to so that you're comfortable. So the muscles in your thigh are active now, right? So when I'm lifting my toes, the muscles here are nice and strong. Maybe I'm feeling a stretch here through the inner thigh, through the knee. I could feel it down into the back of the knee, the lower leg, maybe even into the foot. So there's lots of different places here. So keep that leg really engaged and active and turn your body to the right. So as you inhale, you're lengthening your spine. And as you exhale, you're getting a little bit more of a rotation here, if that's possible. Now, I don't want you to rotate so far that you can't breathe or that it's uncomfortable or it hurts your back or it hurts your ribs. I just want you to get to a place where it's kind of on that little bit of an edge. Most of what you're feeling is somewhere in the leg or the hip. One more breath in and out. And then unwind. Okay, keep that leg extended, right? So same thing on this side that we did on the other. You're going to bring the sole of your foot down to the floor and bend that knee only as much as you need to bend the knee to get the foot on the floor. It might be the same as the other side. It could be different than the other side, especially if you've had some surgery in the hip or the knee, or you've had an injury in the ankle or the foot. So just kind of notice, how much can I do this? Keep your tripod down, lift all of your toes, spread them out nice and wide, and then place them on the floor. So now we've got a starfish foot. Yeah? Okay, so starfish foot here. Press down. Feel the engagement. All the muscles in that left leg should be like fired up, right? Are they fired up? Okay, they are there to keep that foot glued to the floor as you twist to the right. Okay? So we're pressing that left foot into the floor. We're breathing in and lengthening through the spine and then breathing out and rotating more to the right. So don't let your toes come up. Don't let the engagement of your leg or your foot change. So if you find that by rotating more through the spine, you're losing that connection with your foot, I want you to unwind a little bit and recommit to that pressing of the foot into the floor. One more nice deep breath in and out, guys. And then you're going to slowly unwind. Relax that left leg. Bend, heel and toe, walk it in. Come back. We're going to take that left leg now, cross it over the right. So if you can get the ankle on the knee, this is what it looks like. If it's not quite, you can't quite get it to the knee, find that little spot below the kneecap and hold it there, or anywhere down the shin, all the way down to the ankle is absolutely fine, okay? So whatever you can do. So we're lengthening through the spine as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, we're going to come forward with a nice flat back. So you're not bringing your nose to your knee. So it's not this, right? It's this. And then we're going to come forward and back a couple of times, right? So you're just coming forward and back. Good. And you're noticing as you do this, what's happening in that left side. So maybe it's the hip, maybe it's the thigh, maybe it's the knee, maybe it's the lower leg. So a lot of times we think about things in a very linear way, but the truth is when you've got your hip rotated like this and you're bringing your body forward, there is that rotational stretch through the tissue of the entire leg. So you can feel this in any location, and it's okay. So the next time you come forward, you're going to stay here, right? Inhale and lengthen your spine, even as you're in this kind of rotation. Breathe in, breathe out. If you'd like, you can take your left hand to your left hip, and still in this forward rotation, so you haven't sat up at all, we're going to just twist to the left a little bit. Keep breathing. Let's unwind from that. Okay. Take your right hand to your right hip, and we're going to twist to the right. Breathe in, breathe out. Good, and come back up. Great, come all the way up. Let's take that leg. We're going to cross left knee on top of right knee. Okay, so again, if you're here at the ankle, that's fine. So it doesn't matter. If you can't get your knee over your knee, that's okay. So here's what we're going to do. 4 options, right? We're going to press the thighs together. That's an option. Even if you're here, I want you to be pressing your thighs together. Okay, so we're engaging those thigh muscles. Option 2, oh, sorry, I forgot to say, take the right foot, walk it out to the right. That just makes the other 3 options a little bit easier to do, okay? Gives us an on-ramp to do those. So you've got the thighs pressed together. Now, option 2 is to press the outside of your left ankle to the outside of your right lower leg. So it's like you're trying to get the ankle and the leg together, right? If option 2 is accessible and easy, and you wish to look at option 3 is to take your toes and press them to the back of your right ankle. Okay? And then option 4, for those who want option 4, is to take that foot and wrap it around the leg. No? Not today. Okay, so we can go back to option 3, we can go back to option 2, we can hit option 1, right? So whatever option you're taking for this leg, is it different than the other leg? Yes, no, right? Isn't it so interesting, right? So if the answer is yes, if it's different, the side that has the lesser mobility, you might want to do that a little bit longer. So instead of holding for like 5 or 10 breaths, you would maybe hold that side for 15 breaths and just see if you can get that kind of range going a little bit more. So speaking of breaths, let's do that. Let's breathe in and breathe out and relax into this. So you should be you should have your legs in a stretch that is optimal for you, meaning there's a great deal of sensation. So if I'm just here, I'm not feeling much. I need to go farther because of where I'm at in my body. I need to go farther to feel that more. Now, if you're between one of the options, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you can't quite make it to the next option, so say I'm here on option 2, and I can't get to option 3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my right foot and start walking it over to the left, but make sure I keep that ankle plastered to the leg. Can you feel that? And that changes things, right? So you can make each of the options a little bit harder simply by moving your right foot over to the left. Right? Kind of cool. We'll do this a little bit more when I come back if I remember. Okay. Let's take another deep breath in and out. Great. Okay. And then if you've walked your foot over to the left, I'll have you walk it back to the right. Unwind, unsqueeze on whatever you're doing here. And then you're going to slide that foot back. You're going to lean back into your hands. Extend your legs. Point your toes. Okay. Are your legs the same length? Yes? Okay. Good. That's what we were going for. We were going for the same leg length. Isn't that weird? So it's magic, right? So do you think your legs got longer? Yes. Well, they kind of did, but kind of didn't. So you got a little bit of length in the tissue, but it wouldn't be noticeable to the naked eye. What really happened was we changed the conversation between your brain and your body. So your brain is calibrated. Robin's leg extends that far. Robin's other leg extends that far. So when I go to stretch, I get out to a certain place, and my brain says, oh, that's far enough, that's where we go. That's far enough, that's where we go. And then we get into these long holds, right? We get into these kind of funny positions, and we hold, and we breathe into that stretch. What's happening when we're breathing into a stretch that we're holding for a period of time is the conversation starts to change with the brain, because the tissue length does change on a very microscopic level. But it's giving that information back to the brain that you thought I could only go this far, but look at, I'm actually going this far. So the brain starts to reduce its restriction on how much it thinks you can move. So when we've done that, and we come back to our stretch to check for leg length, now the brain says, oh, you can actually go a little farther. So it's really about changing the limit that we have. It's changing our limited belief of how long our leg is or how far we can stretch, because that's what we do in our daily lives. That's why moving parts of our body that don't get a lot of movement, or changing the orientation, the position, the shape of our body is so important, because more than anything, we're definitely working tissues and muscles, and that's all really great stuff for our physical activity, but more than that, we're changing the conversation. We are changing through our nervous system, how our brains and our bodies cooperate. So yes, we definitely do get a little bit more length in the tissue, but the bigger thing is what we believe we have. So that's even cooler in my opinion. Anyway, that's That's that. So let's get down to the little guys, fingers and toes, right? These are the little joints. We've done all the big joints in the body, right? We did hips, shoulders, knees, elbows, neck, spine, all that kind of stuff. So let's just do some starfish and fist, and starfish and fist, right? So fist, with the hands, sometimes the fist can be a little painful. If you have some arthritis in your fingers, be gentle with that. But with your toes, you might want to go a little harder on the fist, right? A little harder on the fist could set up a little feeling of cramping in the bottom of your foot. If it does, that means the bottom of your foot could really use this. Okay, next time we're in a starfish, let's stay there. So we got hands and feet, everybody, all four places are in starfish mode. Let's go right side into fist, hand and foot, and then we'll switch. So we're just doing a starfish on one side and a fist on the other side, right? And it's the same. When I look at my hand and I look at my foot, on the same side, they're doing the same thing. And I'm breathing. I'm doing all the breathing. Okay. Great. Let's get to starfish again on everything. So everything's a starfish. Let's make a fist on the right side, on the hand of the right side, and we'll make a fist with the left foot. So now when I look down, my right hand and foot are doing something different. My left hand and foot are doing something different, yeah? Okay, so all we're going to do now, again, is switch, right? And switch. Okay? So we're just switching. So we can make this more challenging by going faster, or we can make it more challenging by crossing over the arms. You can do that, yep. So we're trying something a little bit different here. So if crossing over your hands is kind of easy, cross over your legs. And see if that changes things, right? And then notice what's happening. Go a little faster. Oops. Yep. You lost it. You know what? It's okay. Go right back and reset. It's good. Okay, couple more. And shake that all out, right? So there's many different ways to increase the intensity of this, right? So faster is one way. Crossing the legs is another way. Crossing the arms is another way. Not looking, looking. So there's all kinds of different ways to work on that communication. All right, let's do this. Let's stretch the arms. Oh, it's like you're waking up, right? Oh, let's stretch the other side. Oh. Let's get the legs involved. So stretch through the right side and extend the leg. Ooh, and then the other side. Oh. Let's go back again. Great. One more time on each side. So we've got this nice big stretch. Whole body. Excellent. Let's shake everything out. All right, we're going to come back down to the littles, so the toes, the fingers, because we're still working on those a little bit. Keep your tripods on the floor. Have your hands resting on your thighs. So the knuckles of your palm, we're going to keep on the lap, but we're going to lift all the fingers and the thumbs. So all your fingers and thumbs, and lift all your toes. Okay, so everything's lifted. Keep your knuckles on the floor, though, so don't lift the whole front of your foot. And then we're going to just drop the toes and the fingers and lift. So we're dropping and lifting, dropping and lifting. Breathing in and breathing out. Right? Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Okay. Couple more. Okay, next time you're lifted, hold and give a big starfish there. So spread your toes and your fingers as wide as they'll go. And then bring your toes and your fingers together and then lower down. Okay, so it's a lift. So we're lifting and we're lifting everything up and spread them out and then bring them together and then put them down. So the tendency on the feet is going to be to put the toes on the floor first and then bring them together because we're going to try and scrunch. But I want you to do just what your fingers can do, right? So it's that really discrete movement. So we're lifting the fingers, lifting the toes, spread them out, and then bring the fingers and toes together and down. Lift up. Try and breathe as you're doing this, because I know everybody's holding their breath just a little bit. And down. Good. So we're getting that independence with the toes and the feet. One more time, you guys. That looks really good. Great. Okay. Let's lift all the fingers and toes. And now we're going to press down just the thumbs and the big toes, not the littles. And lift and lower just the thumbs and the big toes. Just the thumbs and the big toes. Good. Keep breathing. Lift your thumbs and big toes. Everybody's lifted up, right? All toes, all fingers, all lifted. Keep your thumbs and big toes lifted, and now we're going to press the fingers and the little toes down. And lift and lower. Just the fingers and the toes, not the big toe, not the thumb. Or if you have two thumbs, it would be don't lower both thumbs. You guys are really concentrating. Nobody laughed at that stupid joke. Okay, we got everything lifted now, right? Lift, lift. Spread everything out. Okay, just the thumbs down, just the baby finger, the pinky finger down, right? See all those fingers lifted in the middle? Do the same thing with your feet. Big toes down, baby toes down, middle toes lifted. No? Not happening. Okay, let's relax all that for a moment. Let's try that one more time. I bet we can do this, right? Lift all the toes, lift all the fingers. So watch your thumbs and your baby finger, right? So, wow, that's so easy. Just do that with your feet. There you go. Yeah, that's half the battle. You're halfway there, Ellen. And then relax all that. Great. Let's tap or wiggle or squiggle everything out. All right. I think we hit everything, yeah? I think we got everything except the ears. We'll do that next time. All right. So sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes. Let's take some breaths in and out. Oof. Just notice what it feels like to have not just moved your body, not just stretched. You know, we think of yoga as, oh, this is a great stretch. And yeah, it is a great stretch. But again, the most important thing you just did in the last hour was you changed the conversation between your mind and your body. You said, maybe these limitations that I have are not real limitations. Maybe it's just how I move my body. I reinforce that my tissues are only this long, that my body is only this capable. And then when I challenge it a little bit, it changes things. And that conversation change between your body and your mind, that changes your perspective. And so that's kind of the key takeaway, right? Changing the conversation changes the perspective. Breathing in, breathing out. Air filling the lungs, air emptying from the lungs. Has impact on the whole body. The rib cage, the belly, the shoulders. All the tissues from your nose to your toes. When you breathe in, more oxygen to all those tissues. When you breathe out, less carbon dioxide in those tissues. Let's take a breath in, hold it. Let it out with a sigh. And two more times. Nice breath in. Last time, breathe in. Great. You can let your eyes open. Thank you guys for being here. Okay. I got your joke of the week. If you're ready. Are you ready? Okay. It's not a bad joke. It's a good joke. Why do seagulls fly over the sea? Why do seagulls fly over the sea? To seagulls. That's a great answer, but no, that's not it. Anybody else? To see what they can see. That's a great answer too, but no, that's not it. Why do seagulls fly over the sea? Because if they flew over the bay, they would be bagels. See you in a couple of weeks.